Hello, everybody, and welcome to another live drawing party. It's Monday, April 20th, and we are starting off a new week, and we are going to have a lot of fun today. So, how are you all doing out there? Did you have a weekend? Did you think of it as a weekend, or was it more of the same? Did you somehow delineate it as different? I did. I mean, I kind of didn't think about much. I sat outside. I did some reading. We did some barbecuing. We tried to make it different. And I think it was successful. Went for a long walk yesterday. And, you know, I think it's important to have a break in your week. And I think it's important to have a bit of structure in your day. So hopefully, meeting here today and every day will give you that structure too. Hopefully, you got to make some art. We actually did one thing. I had to paint a sign because we have a friend who had a birthday. She turned 16, and to celebrate her birthday, her mom arranged a kind of drive-by parade. So we made a sign that said, giant cardboard Costco box that I cut apart and painted on it with ink, and wrote happy birthday. And then we drove slowly past her house holding it out, and she was out there. It was nice, strange, but nice. Hopefully, it will be a 16th birthday to remember, I'm sure. So, um, what else can I tell you about that we did? Some of you may not know yet, but we have a couple of things that are part of sort of the tradition of these daily things. One is that if you make something and you want to share it, make sure you put this hashtag SBS Drawing Party, that you put it on a post that you make of the art that you make today. So if you make some art, you want to share it, go to social media and put it up there, scan it, take a photograph of it, and share it out there so that we can see it. And you could put it on Facebook, you could put it on Instagram, you could put it in the Sketchbook School schoolyard, Twitter, wherever you'd like, and we'll go and look for it. So hashtag SBS Drawing Party. And the other thing is, I have set up this new list of kind of essays that I'm writing, and I'd like to send them to you. So every day, not every day, although I did do a lot of writing this weekend, um, I'm making stuff, I'm writing stuff, ideas, thoughts, tips, pep talks, provocations, and I'd like to send them to you. So free of charge, of course, but I would love to share my ideas with you and see what you think and see how you respond to them. So if you go to sketchbookschool.com/Danny's-list, you'll be able to sign up there, and I'll be able to send you stuff. So I sent out my first thing last week, and it was I have a lot better ideas. I think I have to be apologetic right off the bat, but I have a lot of other ideas that I've been thinking about, and I'm kind of getting back into the sort of the what is it called, the rhythm of creating and writing and sharing. So I'm a little bit rusty. I used to do it on my blog for 17 years. I think I was writing stuff on my blog, but kind of backed off that, was writing it on Instagram for a while, but now I want to do it for you and send it directly to you and engage in a dialogue with you if you'd like to talk about it. So please sign up at Danny's List and I will send you stuff. Okay, so let me tell you about today, because today is an experiment. You may have noticed at the beginning that I featured Bob Ross in a little opening thing. Hopefully you know who Bob Ross was. He was he was the host of a television show called The Joy of Painting that was on public television for, I don't know, 15 years, maybe longer. I'm not sure. He passed away almost 20 years ago, but his work lives on Netflix, so, and on other places, and on YouTube and so forth. So actually, Morgan suggested to me last week that maybe we could do a project painting or drawing or creating along with Bob. So what we're going to do today is we're going to follow one of the Joy of Painting episodes and see how we respond to it. Okay? So Bob, of course, painted in oils, and he had an easel and a canvas and an afro. I don't have any of those things, so I'm going to probably be painting on the iPad. But you could paint with watercolors. You could draw if you decide you don't want to paint at all. You could draw. You could work in colored pencils and gouache, whatever form you have handy and that you'd like to work in. And you don't have to do what Bob is doing. Let's just spend half an hour with him, following his lead, following his inspiration, and see where it takes us. Okay? So, it's interesting. I don't know if you've ever actually sat and tried to paint along with Bob. I did it as an experiment, and now I'm going to try it again. It is interesting. It is somewhat challenging, but I found it like got a lot of wheels turning in my head while I was doing it. So let's try it out. Perhaps you've been drawing along with me. Well, now I'm going to be drawing along with him, and you can be drawing along with me, or along with him, or along with your muse, or you could just sit back and watch. It's up to you. He's very mellow, let's just say. If you've never experienced Bob Ross, he's relaxing, he's calm, he's gentle. He talks about little creatures and paint and stuff like that. So I think he's great, and hopefully you'll enjoy this too. Okay, so let's get our stuff together. Let's get our gear out and start thinking about how we're going to approach this, because it's going to be, as I said, it's going to be a challenge. It is a challenge because, we're working in a different medium than he is, and, we're plunging into it. He's working from his imagination. He paints these scenes. We're going to be painting whatever it is we choose to paint along with him. Okay? So let us begin. Let's begin with Bob, and you'll see what I'm drawing in the corner, such as it is. And then we'll chat about it when we come back. Okay? Here we go.
Hi, welcome back. Glad you could join me today. Today I thought we'd do a fantastic little painting. Maybe it's deep in the woods and it's very dark and misty, and I think you'll enjoy that. So let's start out and have them graphically run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with me, and they'll come across in the same order as I have them on the palette, starting with the white and working around. While they're doing that, let's go on up here. I have the good old standard 18 by 24 inch canvas, and I've already covered it with a thin, even coat of the liquid white, and it's all wet and slick, and it's ready to do a fantastic
Liquid white. I'm not sure what that is, but
let's just take off and
Bob
have some
does.
fun.
So let's just follow his lead.
Today, let's start. Tell you what, let's use a little phthalo blue.
Start mixing up some colors here.
Pick up a little sap green. So we have phthalo blue and sap green. Just sort of mix them on the brush. A little bit of paint. I don't have a whole bunch of paint. Now then, if we're going to be deep in the woods, we need some nice colors back in here. So just sort of dance this around, twirl it, let it play. Don't get it too even. We want it to be dark in areas and light in areas, and use a lot of pressure in places and no pressure in places. A lot of pressure and no pressure. Just make all these little different things happen. Just like so. Just like so. A little more color on the brush. And we'll just cover the whole top of the canvas like this. Really push hard when you want it to be darker, and then where you want it light, just let it caress the canvas.
So I'm working on the iPad. I'm trying out different sort of digital brushes to see how they work.
See, it makes a nice dark spot.
And trying to emulate Bob's example.
Blue, that's phthalo blue and sap green. Just mix on the brush. There, I want a little darker right in there. And you don't care where this goes. Just let it blend down and play. Wherever, it makes no difference. Okay. Now then, let me wash the brush. And we wash our brush with odorless thinner. I have a screen in the bottom of this bucket that I scrub the brush against. Shake out the excess.
I love
Just
that
beat the
business
devil
that he
out of them.
does. Just
That's all there is to it.
bashing his
Now then, with
brush
a clean
into
dry
the
brush,
thing. I'm not
move
sure what
right
that's
back up
about,
in
but
here
apparently it's part of
and
the
just bring
technique.
all this
So I'm going to
together.
bang
And you
my
can overblend it till it
Apple
becomes
Pencil here against the
just
iPad
one
and see.
solid mass of color. I don't want to lose all these light and dark areas here. I just want to bring it together just about like so, right in there. Right in there. Sometimes it's hard to stop. Things get working so well, you just want to keep going.
That is true.
There.
I do want to just keep
When
going.
we're all finished, I hope this looks like trees way back in the distance.
Hope so too,
All
Bob.
kinds of little things will be
Right
happening
now it
back
looks
there.
like a Rothko painting.
Okay. That
Maybe
gives us a nice
Rothko is
little
inspired
background. We'll just go
by
across,
Bob.
take out the brush strokes. I'm going to have some water down here. So I'll use some phthalo blue, some sap green, and I'll add a little black. I'll make this dark. And I'm going to have water maybe right in here. Add a little bit more to the blackish color. There we go. I want this to be dark. Start at the bottom because I want it to be the darkest. And then work back upward. That way it's going to pick up the liquid white and automatically it gets lighter in value. That's where our water will be, somewhere in there. We don't really care.
Somewhere in there, Bob.
Okay, wash the old brush one more time. That's the most fun part of this whole technique, is just washing the brush.
Is that really the most fun
Sometimes they
part of
slip
it?
out of your hand and go across the room. There.
Well, we'll see.
Now I'm going to take the liner brush, put some thinner on it,
Okay.
and go right into a little bit of Van Dyke Brown. Now this paint is thin,
Van Dyke
like
Brown,
water.
you say?
It's about the consistency of ink. Turn that brush.
What
Pull
are we
it to a
gonna do with
nice
it?
sharp point.
It's a nice,
See there?
long, thin
Good, let's
brush,
go
like
there.
almost like a sign painter's
Now
brush.
we're going to start making some decisions. There's
What are we doing
all
here?
kind of trees that live in here.
Ah, trees.
Just wherever you think they should live, that's where they're to live.
Okay.
Look at them. These are far away trees. And we can just put the indication here and there of a happy little limb. If it doesn't want to flow off your brush, add a little bit more of the thinner, see? And then it'll just flow. And I'm just going to put in some basic indications. When you're at home and you have all kinds of time, you can put in just as many or as few as you want.
Man, he is fast.
There we go. Just wherever you think there should be a tree, that's exactly where it should be. And you can lift up. Some people find it easier to lift upward. Some find it easier to pull downward. Try it both ways. Whichever works the best for you, then that's the right way. There. See? Just as many as you want or as few. And don't make them all straight. Trees grow every which way. Some of them have little kinks in them, and they're like people. Everybody's different.
Everybody
Trees
has
are
kinks
different.
in them, Bob.
Let them be individuals. Let them have personalities.
Okay.
There they go.
Mine are more wonky
See
than
all
kinky,
the
I
little
think.
rascals? Well, it looks like woods already back here.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Now, sometimes it's nice when these paintings dry to have a tree trunk that has some shine to it.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, I use liquid clear. Take a little liquid clear
What does that mean?
and thin the paint
Liquid
down.
clear.
Now put
I'm
these in
assuming
tree
it
trunks that are a little
means
bit closer. Now when this
lighter
dries,
color.
these trunks, it'll look almost like they're glazed. And by glaze, that's a thin paint with an oil base that's put over. The old masters used to use a lot of glazing. It's very pretty.
Okay.
And that'll help push all those back
I'm just
farther
using
back.
a lighter brown to see if I
There
can
we go.
simulate that.
There. Just wherever you want these. There we go. Don't want to get too carried away here. You could
Sure
spend all
don't.
day just putting in all kinds of beautiful little tree trunks.
This is kind of fun. I hope you guys are doing this as well.
The old liner brush does fantastic things. The liner brush
And
is
how are
nice
you doing
because
it?
it has a long hair on it. Long hair. And it holds a lot of paint. Okay. Now then, today I'm going to use the oval brush.
Oval brush, right?
And
See
I'm
what
going to
that
mix
is.
up. Let's take some of that phthalo blue, little sap green, and I'm going to reach right over here, grab a little touch of white.
So it's like a
More to the bluish
lightish,
side.
darkish green, I guess?
There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's phthalo blue, sap green, touch of white. I'm going to add a little black. It's too bright.
Too bright, okay. So we don't
Too
want it too
bright.
bright.
A little more white so
Hard
we
to
can see
tell what
what we
color it
got.
actually is. It's a
Good.
bluish green,
Good.
maybe?
Very nice. Now let's take
Now what are you going to do
the
with
old
it all?
oval brush and just load a little bit of paint. We don't want a whole bunch yet.
Okay.
Let's go right up in here and then just begin just putting a few little details. See how it makes,
hold on.
that oval brush makes it look like there's thousands of little leaves on those rascals. Super for that. And I'm just barely tapping. Barely tapping. Just sort of look at where you think they might live and drop them in.
Kind of crazy
Drop
there.
them in. And if you want them to
Yeah,
have
Bob
more
would have liked the
curve
iPad.
on them, then hold the brush downward. If you want them to be straight, go
You would
straight
have been
in.
interested in it?
Isn't that neat?
He's a
Just
traditionalist.
barely touching.
But
Allow the canvas to take off what it wants.
he might have liked it.
And maybe down in here we're getting into some things that are a little bit thicker. Some nice bushy creatures that live here.
Bushy
Just like
creatures.
so. And some that just sort of float around. Look at there. There's one. He lives right there. So you can just have as many or as few as you want in your world. All kinds of little things. So it pushes everything back. All right. Maybe over in here there's just some little indications. These will just sort of show through and it'll look like there's all kinds of little branches and leaves. And squirrels have to have a place to hide.
They do. It's true.
I call squirrels tree urchins because they live in a tree.
Tree urchins.
I have a whole bunch of them around where I live, and they come down and I feed them. They come and eat all the time at the house. I have all kinds of little creatures. I have raccoons and some possums and
I think you live
bunny
in like
rabbits.
North Carolina or something like that.
There we go.
Although I did see some bunnies yesterday here in Phoenix. There were
Last show,
bunnies,
I think I showed you my little bird. Maybe I'll show him again. We were beginning to get so many calls about him. Maybe we'll just have to show him again.
Shows your
Alrighty.
bird.
Tell you what, let's do. Let's take a little brown. This is just straight Van Dyke brown. And let's start making some decisions. Maybe there's some land that lives back here. Just all I'm doing here, just pushing in some color.
Okay. Let's
Just
try
like
that
so.
out.
Just a little color. No big deal right now. No big deal. We'll take a little white, little dark sienna. Pull it out, cut us off a little bit, then barely touch. Just put the indication of a little highlight here and there. I don't want too much. This is too far back. It's too dark back in here. It's too dark. Now then, we'll use a old number 6 fan brush. I'm going to go right into some
Yellow?
yellow. I went into the liquid white first, going into some yellow. Reach up here and grab some sap green over here and a little bit of black. There.
Sounds like a
Want this to be
darkish,
quite dark. A little
yellowish,
yellow ochre to it.
greenish,
Just mix these on the
darkish,
brush.
greenish reds.
Now maybe back in here we're beginning to see a little color. Just push upward with that brush. Just pushing upward. Look at there. See, that all these little things just sort of happen here. And maybe I'm using that oval brush again. Here I'm going to add a little color and just put the least little touch of highlight here and there. Not much. Not much yet. When we get into the foreground, then we'll begin adding more highlights. But right now, I just want the least little indication here and there. Little light playing through there. Begin picking out just sort of some individual little bushes. Now then, tell you what, let's do. Let me find. We'll use a old fan brush. Liquid white, titanium white. Load the brush full of paint. A lot of paint.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go right up here. Maybe there's some happy little water coming right down through here. It is just bubbling along, having a good time, splashing, carrying on. Just think how water would think.
Think how
You know,
water
just
would think.
pretend your water coming down here and having a good time, and just the world's happy and it's a good day, and all of a sudden, oh, bloop, you fall over. It falls right over. Look at that. That easy. You can make a happy little waterfall.
This is so nice about
There.
Bob.
See, just drops
Happy
right over.
little
But you need the
waterfall.
dark underneath or it won't show. And it splashes down here underneath this waterfall.
All right.
There's just all kinds of little things going on. Like so. So many little happy things. See, put a little splashy here and there. Maybe it, just a stone under the water there. And all these little things just splash. See? All the little water actions. Just this fan brush is fantastic for doing these.
It is. The Apple Pencil's not
Absolutely
quite as good
unreal.
for it, but I'm trying.
And
Trying, Bob.
sometimes it's fun just to play a little. Let me find. There it is. We'll just take a 1-inch brush and go right into. We'll use some brown, some black, a little sap green. I want a very dark green here. Let's have maybe there's a happy little bush. He lives right here. Just push upward. I want a very dark little bush right here. He's in the shadows in my world.
Okay.
In your world, maybe he's in the sunshine, so you can put all kinds of happy little highlights on him. But in my world, today I'm gonna have him in the dark. There. We'll put another one right there. Just sort of close all that in. Isn't that neat? See, it pushes that whole area back here. Just pushes it right back into the background.
It's true.
And then,
A lighter color in the background.
if you lived here, you'd have to have a way to get over this little stream. So let's do that. Let's have some fun. I'll take some Van Dyke Brown. Maybe there's a happy little bridge here.
Happy little
And
bridge.
I'll tell you what, maybe it's behind these bushes and all you can see is the part that goes over the water. So let's have it come up and then maybe like this. We'll put some character in it. And then it has a little bend in it. There.
Bend. All right.
Let me get the small knife. The small knife will do a little better for that. I'll put some little post on here. See, there's a little post. There's one. Look at that.
I kind of feel like I'm making a painting you find in a thrift store, but
There we go.
why not?
That one goes over behind the bush. Then take the big knife. We'll
All
have
right.
to put a little rail up here. We don't
Railing?
want anybody to fall off this bridge and get
No,
wet.
we don't. That would be terrible. It'd be covered in paint.
See there? I knew you could do that.
Thank you.
A little
Thanks for your
brown and
support.
white. Tiniest little bit of paint. Now I want to go
What are we
down here
doing?
and just show the indication of a little highlight here and
Oh,
there.
highlight. Okay, that's a good idea.
Just to brighten him up, make him sing in the sunshine.
Singing in the sunshine.
Used to be a song about singing in the sunshine.
Was there? What was that song?
Okay.
We had
Back to my
joy,
small
we
knife.
had fun. I
Now
don't know
put a
what
little
it is.
indication here on these posts.
Okay.
Little knife gets right in there and does these little things. There. Yeah, maybe here and there the light really hits it. You could add just a little sparkle of white. Just don't
Sparkle,
overdo it.
pure white?
Just here and there. Maybe the
Okay.
light's zinging through there and it's right there too. Gives it a little sparkle.
All right.
Makes that little rascal jump out at you.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. Now
Going
we'll
back to the
push this
bridge.
little bridge behind this bush.
And push it behind the
We
bush.
don't know where he lives. Whatever. There. Same thing over here. I'm going to push this bridge completely back behind these bushes. Like that. Brush is too slow. Let's get a big one. I'll go right into my Van Dyke Brown. I'm going to have a lot of land areas and big rocks and maybe there's some big, let's just do it. Just take the big brush. It's a straight Van Dyke Brown. And here we're just applying dark color. Maybe there's one that comes right on out here. And all you're doing is laying in basic shapes. We'll go back with a knife and straighten all this out and make big decisions about where things live. But right now, all we're interested in is just basic shapes. Maybe this one comes way on out here. There. Just fill it up. Just fill it up full of color. Like so.
Yeah, that's pretty black.
I really hope you
it's
enjoyed
pretty
seeing
dark,
my little
Bob.
bird on
I
the
hope
last
you know
show.
what you're doing.
He's coming along fine if you're following his progress.
Yeah.
As I say, we've got so many calls. Maybe on one of the future shows I'll bring him back, let you see him again. I I think you'll like him. He's my friend. And I've taken care of him under the supervision of the bird lady. We have a lady here in Muncie who takes care of all the injured animals and stuff, and they call her the bird lady.
Makes sense.
And she keeps me straight and tells me how to take care of all these little creatures. In fact, one of these days we'd like to do a television show where we show you what she does, and people like her all over the country that devote their time and money and energies into taking care of all of God's little creatures.
Bob, you're so
They're
nice.
super special people. And maybe one day we can do that. All right. Now then, same old dirty brush. I'm going to add some sap green to it. Pull this brush in one direction. Load a lot of paint into it. Just a tiny little bit of sap green. I'm going to grab some dark sienna too. So
What are
we
you
got dark
putting in?
sienna, Van Dyke brown, and sap green. Maybe over here there's going to be a big tree. It is right here. So we can go ahead and throw in some dark color. See how all this dark, it sort of closes in and makes your eye go toward the water because it's lighter. All right, let's do on the other side. Maybe there's a happy thing that lives wherever. You just make a decision and put it in. Wherever.
It's hard to make decisions on the fly at this pace.
There we
I
go.
feel like I am
See,
painting
like
while
we got all that
running
block
down a
in.
hill. But
And we're ready to start picking out some beautiful little details. Okay. Now then, let me find a 1-inch brush. We'll dip it into a little bit of liquid white, some yellow, and I'm going to grab some midnight black. I want this to be a dark green. Pull that brush in
Dark green.
one direction. Load it full of color. Okay, let's go right up here. And maybe right in here, we'll put on some dark leaves there, just to begin building some shape and form into this big tree that lives here. Just like so. Look at all those things. See? But think of individual little bushes and limbs and stuff that are all living in here.
I'm thinking
Each one has its
intensely
own
about those
personality.
little bushes.
All kinds of happy little things. There's one. See? You can just make hundreds and hundreds of them. Do them in layers. Do the
Oh, I
one that's
see what you're
farthest away first and work forward. That way it has depth and distance in there. Add a little yellow ochre to that. Maybe there's one right here on this side.
Maybe.
A little bit of light zinging through there.
Zing.
See, you can leave some of them dark in total shadow, especially when you're doing these deep wood scenes where you can use almost pure green so it just barely shows. I like to leave some of these that are very dark, like that, see? And here and there, the light's going to zing through and sparkle some of these, make them shine. Look at that. All right, darker down here toward the base. Leave these dark areas. They're very, very important. Very important. We'll wash that old brush off. Give them a shake.
Like, where does all that stuff go that he's doing that with? Do it spattered all over the floor of the studio?
Let's start picking out some stones
Seems weird.
and rocks. You use some dark
What does
sienna
it do to the
here,
brush to
a
get
little bit of
bashed on
white,
the legs of the easel? But I'm not doing that. Sorry, just not doing it.
and maybe
I mean, I want to keep
And
things
right
neat and
along
clean here.
here.
I don't want pixels spraying all over the
we're
studio.
beginning to see
What's this now?
some nice rocky areas. Still want this to stay quite dark. Quite dark. Just all kinds of things happening. Tell you what, let's do that up here. Now watch here, watch here. This is so much fun because now you can make a decision that there's a big cliff or a sheer drop-off right here, a bank. That's the word I'm looking for. And you can just bring that around and leave this right in front. You can make all kinds of little things that go up in there, like so. Let's have some fun. Now sometimes some of these stones get just full of little grassy and mossy things. So just tap with the fan brush, like so. Okay. This is in the greens and the yellows, and all you do is just tap, just touch, pick out individual stones, See? Makes it look like it's just all kinds of little grassy, slimy things.
Slimy.
The things that are wet all the time. They grow all kinds of little algae and, ooh, it's pretty. Stones look like they have fur on them at times.
Furry, slimy, and pretty.
Right down here
Sounds
by the
good.
water. And you can just do as many of these. Now leave some dark. Don't kill all the dark.
It's like I'm
Look at all
designing a
those little
jigsaw
rascals.
puzzle. It's gonna be a
Just
nice
like
jigsaw.
so. Okay, back to my 1-inch brush.
Now what?
A little bit of the yellow and the green.
Mm-hmm.
Now then, let's bring all this together. And we can begin putting all kinds of little bushes that live here.
Here we go.
See,
All
they
right.
follow the lay of the land, coming right down like this. As many or as few as you want. This is your world,
It is.
so you make it happen. You make it happen. There it is. Tell you what. Maybe there's one lives down here. See how you can bring all that together?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go back with our little fan brush, and let's put some little grassy things out here on these stones too. We don't want them to be left out.
No, that would be a crying shame.
There we go. Just all kinds of little rascals. Got him. Now we can come right over here. Maybe there's a happy little bush. He lives right there. Just sort of let your imagination go crazy. Let's get the small knife,
Mm-hmm.
and we can take some dark brown, come right in here, and just begin adding all kinds of little foots on these stones. Just bring them straight down. If you get a little of that in the water, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Can fix easy. See, just all kinds of little things. Now then, let me find my fan brush that has liquid white and titanium white on it. A lot of paint on the brush. A lot of paint. Now then, let's begin cleaning up the bottom of all this stuff. Water splashing into some of these little recessed areas here. Look at that. Isn't that fun? Splash and crash, and maybe it's just a little stone underneath the water. Just sort of look at it and make decisions. There's stones underneath the water all over. Just sort of take it. Ooh, there's another one. They go in all kinds of directions. This water is just churning through here. You ever listen to a little stream? It has one of the most peaceful sounds to it. That's always been one of my fantasies, is to have a house that was right next to a little stream, and at night you could go to sleep listening to all that bubbling and churning.
Yeah, I have a recording of that on Spotify that I listen to.
Just as many as you want.
That was my fantasy always, was to have
Look at there.
a Spotify recording of a little stream,
off
like
in
a
here,
happy little
wherever.
stream I could listen to.
Okay, now then, let's take a. I'm gonna dip right into some liquid clear and brown. Maybe there's some nice trees. Live just wherever. Many of them as you want.
More
Or as
trees.
few.
Come on, Bob.
You can just
Throwing
drop a
my
tree
game
here
up
and there.
here. Okay.
Just like so. Couple little tree limbs here and there. There we go. Now we'll take our oval brush. We'll put a little brighter yellow on it. The old clock on the wall told me I gotta finish this up.
It's true.
Just tap in the indication of all kind of little leaves hanging here.
Oh, there's more leaves now.
See there?
Oh my God.
It's that easy. And you can really, really do a fantastic little painting in just a matter of minutes. As I say, the old clocks tell me I got to leave you for this time, but I'll be back. So we'll put a little leaf. Maybe there's one that hangs out right here, like that.
Like yeah.
I think that pretty well gives us a finished little painting. From all of us
does.
here, happy painting.
Oh,
God bless.
Wait, I'm not done. Oh my God. That was hard. That was hard and fast. You want to see what I did? Let me show you. What do you think? It has a certain Bob Rossian quality to it. Looks better small, as do most paintings that I do. But there you go. All right. I wish I'd been painting on black velvet, though, to be honest with you. That would have been cool. Don't you think? Yes. So, yeah. So, how did you approach this? I realize I just kind of flung this at you. Man, this was, you know, it was, it was interesting. I mean, it was kind of like watching a cooking show and trying to like cook alongside him. Um, but it has a Bob Rossian quality to me, but it also kind of looks like I painted it also. Maybe it's just, I don't know, the fact that it's on the iPad, but let's make it even smaller. Yeah, now it's looking really good. There, that's good. That looks really good. That looks like a photo of a little bridge. All right. So anyway, it is interesting though to take someone like Bob, who, I mean, his work, his approach is like really, really different from mine. But to go along with him step by step and to sort of like get into his head and try it out was really cool. And fortunately, there are 876 gazillion additional episodes of Joy of Painting, and maybe that'll be my project for the rest of the quarantine. I'm going to knock out the entire oeuvre of Rossian landscapes and see what happens. So we're going to change the format of this live drawing party. Every single day, we're going to paint a Bob Ross painting. Now, we're going to go back to normal, to whatever abnormal in the future. But yeah, because originally I had thought, you know what I'll do? I will just, you know, I'll just do like some kind of random version of a Bob Ross painting, and I'll just like, you know, I mean, I'll just like make it super, super digital, and just like. But now realizing, even as I'm saying this and trying to approximate it, I don't even know that I can. But no, I can't. I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to diminish the moment because it was fun. It really was. Okay. Um, what else can you do to try out new things? I mean, it's interesting that I think that one hesitates a lot of times to even try something like this, right? Why? Because you have no idea what you're doing and you're plunging into it. I mean, I was using a lot of things on the iPad that frankly I never use. I never use these kind of oil painty, brushy, smeary things. It's just not, it's not my normal way of working. So that was interesting. It was just like, here, take this and try it out, And I think that's been a lot of the case in the last month or so that I've been just like jumping into jumping into the abyss. Is that what it is? Or jumping off the ledge, or just trying new stuff where I really don't know what's going to happen. And I think if you're focused on the process as opposed to the results, that's feasible. It's possible to just have the fun of mucking around with stuff you don't really haven't mastered. And maybe you'll have a little sample of a little taste of something. You'll say, you know what, actually, I, I kind of want to get to know that better. I don't know that I'm going to be doing a lot of these kind of fantasy landscape things in oils, but there are other things we can do. I mean, last week we did those masks. That was kind of interesting. For a lot of us, I think taking black and white selfies when you had a bag on your head was something new, unless you do that a lot in a kind of eyes wide shut sort of way. But yeah, generally, I think creative growth, right? That's what we want. We want new experiences because life is so dull and predictable these days, isn't it? No, not really. So yes, what have you guys got to say about all this business? William Alexander. David Dunn brings up William Alexander. William Alexander had a can of turpentine. So William Alexander was sort of Bob Ross's, I think he was like his mentor, actually. I think Bob kind of apprenticed under William Alexander. He was this old German guy. I forget some of the term, Magic White. He spoke with a German accent. Anyway, he had a can of turpentine next to his easel for cleaning his brushes while painting. Right, he would just jam it in, and then he would do that smacking around thing. The first time I tried his method, my wife almost called the fire department. I didn't realize how the fumes would be spread throughout the house when the furnace fan kicked in. Yes, there's nothing like the heady aroma of freshly decanted, thinner turpentine. Um, yes, Timmy is going to try it as a cut paper collage. That's what I was going to suggest, actually. I thought you could definitely collage one of these scenes. I mean, I think you could definitely do some interesting variations on Bob Rossian themes. Susan tried it with colored pencils. Yeah, I think covering the entire surface in the background the way he does, slash, 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 would have been challenging with colored pencils. Pastels, maybe, maybe. Yeah. So Don says, I did enjoy just diving into my sketchbook like this. What is staring back at me is not pretty, but that's not the point. That's often how I feel when I draw selfies. Yes, indeed. Tammy worked in black gel ink, pen, and water. So like a monochromatic version would be interesting. I mean, you could probably do a quite beautiful one in like Sumi ink washes. Why not? That could be very nice. Yes. Um, so yes, this has been an interesting and entertaining thing. How about Hockney? Yeah. Well, can you imagine if Hockney had a daily show? Hockney, I heard recently, the last couple of days, has become controversial because he claimed that heavy smoking is the cure for dealing with the coronavirus. I think he's just looking for any excuse to smoke a lot. Apparently, he's moved to France most recently because he's just tired of Americans' limitations on smoking. But he has been doing some nice things in quarantine while he's in France. I'll try and find those and share them with you some other time. Um, yes, oil paints for use with water are much more kitchen friendly. I guess they have those dang fangled oil paints that you can use water with. I wonder if are they when they dry are they completely um, do they are they like gouache or acrylics? I don't know. I don't really know. I have painted with oils at various times, but I don't know. Not my thing. Not my thing of late. Puppets of the Trumps out of milk cartons. They are terrifying. Yeah, no comment right now. Um, Our Ina says, growing up, I snobbily rejected Bob Ross. Now I love him. That was kind of exhilarating. You know, I think he has taken some time to reach his stride. Um, there's a little documentary that was made, I think, by the New York Times that was about going to the Bob Ross Institute. I think that's what it's called. So there's like an organization that keeps Bob Ross's spirit alive, but also, by the way, sells art supplies and stuff like that. And the reason for the article was that they were trying to find a Bob Ross original. You think that wouldn't be a hard thing to do, right? Go on eBay. There must be, he made millions of these paintings. Turns out that's not the case. Actually, every single Bob Ross painting is, this institute has it in like a warehouse. And every painting that he did, I've mentioned this before, but he did it 3 times. So he would paint it before the show, he would paint it during the show, and then he did some third version of it for some reason. And so there's 3 versions of every painting that he did, and they have never sold them, and never occurred to them that they should. So that's kind of interesting. Um, so all right, that's today's fun. Maybe we'll try something like this again. I haven't really thought about what we're going to do this week, but you guys have given me a lot of great suggestions. So I just need to sit down and think about them and figure out what we can actually do. Um, I'm drawing on the iPad a lot, by the way, just because I don't have the right kind of cameras to do things properly. to show you stuff, but I will try and do a bit more kind of analog stuff because that's nice. And I now finally have a lot of art supplies, so I can do that. So, all right. So if you've done any of these things, please please post them on social media with this hashtag SBS Drawing Party, so that I can check them out, see how you accomplish the Bob Rossian challenge, and also, of course, if you'd like to, please sign up for my list, and I will send you. I don't know, maybe I'll send you a copy of this Bob Ross painting, but I'll also send you other stuff that I'm writing and thinking about and so forth. So that could be fun. What else? So, um, yeah, so this is a sketchbook school thing. Well, I'm a sketchbook school thing. Maybe you are too. But you can go to our website, and we have what is called the Coronavirus Creativity Guide. We probably need to think of it something else, but I think it's sketchbookschool.com/guide, GUIDE guide. And if you go there, you'll see like links to other stuff that we've done, and there's a lot of stuff that we've made that is for you, and we hope that you enjoy it. And also, what else? Our next workshop's coming up this weekend. Kosha is teaching an amazing workshop called Kosha's Killer Sketchbook Filler, which is all about how to get going, how to start, how to make stuff, how to have like an endless repository of inspiration, so that when you have the slightest desire to draw, you're ready to draw because you've got guides and prompts and so forth, and you will make your own guide. It's a really great, fun concept, and it's going to be a fantastic workshop. You can find out about it at our website, under the workshop section. So, all right, enough of that, enough shilling. Let us meet again tomorrow. And and by the way, subscribe to this channel. I just say that because if you do, sometimes it's unclear as to where exactly we're meeting because of the vagaries of YouTube and Facebook and all those things. So sign up, click the little bell thing, and subscribe. And when you do, YouTube will tell you. They'll send you an email or notification to say we're doing it now. Here. This will take you directly there. Okay. But generally, we're here on the Sketchbook School channel, and we're on the Sketchbook School news page on Facebook. So, right. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out with me and Bob. And I will see you again in 23 hours and 9 minutes. That'll be